Crime statistics shows that as at July 13, the country recorded 626 homicides. Dreadlocks child wins case against school. 209 persons die in crash so far this year. Another double shooting in Manchester. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. The Court of Appeal on Monday ruled that Kensington Primary School had breached the constitutional rights of a female student who was denied access in 2018 after failing to trim her dreadlocks hair. The judge noted that the child's right to freedom of expression and the right to equitable treatment by a public authority in the exercise of any function were violated. The landmark decision overturned in part a 2020 decision of the Supreme Court that the school's policy did not breach the child's constitutional rights. And of course, just like in slavery days, the Buckinghamshire School, in order to justify its position on that basis, said that it found that the hairstyle harbored lice and junjo, which is mold infestation, and some threatened to withdraw their child's admission if the then 5-year-old student's hairstyle remained. But the students' parents, Dale and Shireen Virgo, who refused to cut their daughter's hair, instead filed a lawsuit against the school board, the education ministry, and the attorney general, arguing that the child's constitutional rights had been breached. The Court of Appeal judges in their ruling also indicated that the matter was not about religious rights and freedom, but self-expression. And you can see that discrimination is alive and well in Jamaica. But we give thanks to this ruling. At last, Jamaica justice system get something right. The police said that they are not any closer to finding the hoodlums who robbed a supermarket and abducted 2 Chinese nationals in Spalding, Clarendon on Sunday afternoon. The police said the individuals were not physically harmed. No patron was robbed or harmed during that incident as well. And it was reported that 5 armed men posing as customers brandished guns and robbed the operator of the supermarket of an undisclosed sum of money. Upon leaving, they abducted 2 of the Chinese operators of the business, but later released them in Balleston in Trelawney. A male foreign national died in a motor vehicle collision around 3:30 yesterday morning along the Carey Main Road in Carey Park Crossroads in Trelawney. Information from the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch is that the driver of a Toyota Probox motorcar was driving westward when, upon reaching the vicinity of Carey Park Crossroad, the driver allegedly lost control of the vehicle while negotiating a corner and collided with a bus stop. The 42-year-old man, who was a passenger in the vehicle, sustained fatal injuries, and his death brings the country's road fatalities to 209, which is 18 fewer when compared with the corresponding period last year. Meanwhile, the Jamaica Constabulary Force said that 24 persons were killed over the 7-day period of July 6 to 13. The crime statistics show that as at July 13, the country recorded 626 homicides, up from 602 on July 6. And it also indicated that prior to and after Hurricane Beryl, 20 people were murdered between June 29 and July 6. As at July 13, some 103 fewer homicides were committed across Jamaica. The St. James Police Division recorded a triple murder last week, pushing total homicides to 78, leading all 19 police divisions. Westmoreland with 59, St. Andrew South 52, St. Catherine North 46, and Kingston Eastern with 37 murders round out the top 5 divisions, recording the most homicides. And across all divisions, shootings have decreased by 1%, injured persons decreased by 5%, rapists down 32%, robbery down 15%, and breakings down 7%. The Manchester police were called to a double shooting in West Road in Mandeville on Sunday, 24 hours after responding to a double murder in the community of Craighead. Roshane Young of Newhall District was killed in the latest attack that occurred about 9:55 p.m. A woman was also admitted to hospital, and it's reported that Mr. Young was one of 4 people in a Toyota Mark X motor car that stopped at a house in West Road. While waiting for passengers to exit the car, they were surprised by people believed to have been lurking nearby who fired shots into the vehicle. 2 of the occupants escaped while Mr. Young and a woman were shot. They were taken to hospital where Mr. Young was pronounced dead and the woman admitted. 3 other persons were shot at a shop in Craighead on Saturday night. 2 later died. And Manchester used to be such a beautiful, peaceful place. But, just like anywhere else in Jamaica, it's just mayhem as usual. Over in Trinidad and Tobago, the police commissioner, Earl Harewood Christopher, said that the country recorded 14 murders over the weekend. Speaking at a news conference on Sunday night, Commissioner Herwood Christopher said of the 14 murders, 7 were gang-related, 2 drug-related, and 2 due to robberies, while the motive of the other 3 were unknown. Yes, braba, Trinidad running neck and neck with Jamaica. I remember back in the late 80s and 90s, Trinidadians did not want Jamaicans to come to any of their functions because they said Jamaicans were too violent. Well, them catch up now. On to sports, things look good at all at Harbour View. Just as the head coach left, the assistant coach also resigned in disgust. Assistant coach Sean Fraser has tendered his resignation at the 5-time Premier League champions Harbour View with immediate effect. And it's understood that Fraser, a former national player, feels slighted by the decision to promote physical trainer Jason Bojo Henry to the post of the head coach instead of him. Fraser had been assistant to former head coach Ludlow Bernard for 5 years and by now should be the one to succeed when the head coach leaves. And after 5 years, he should be more than qualified. So I think they made a mistake here. 3-time Olympic gold medalist Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is scheduled to make her long-awaited scheduled debut in Europe as she's down to compete in the women's 100 meters at Luzern Track and Field Meet in Switzerland today. Fraser-Pryce, who is 37 years old, is gearing up to compete in her 5th Olympic Games this month in Paris and will go up against her compatriots Kemba Nelson, Sasha Lee Forbes, Crystal Slowly, and Jodine Williams in today's race. Mojinga Kambuji of Switzerland and Cedera Barnes of the US are also set to compete in today's 100 meters event. Brianna Williams, Serena Cole, and Kishana Niles are scheduled to contest the women's 100 B race for Jamaica. And for the men, Rohan Watson will contest the men's 100 meters A race, while Michael Campbell will compete in the men's 100 meters C event. And don't forget that the best news and sports takes place on this station. If you ever miss the news, please go to YouTube, type in Jamerican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.